Let's bring in trial attorney Adanté Pointer. Adanté, good morning. Does the Supreme Court's decision surprise you at all, particularly with Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett signing on?
Well, Trump has traditionally found a home at the United Supreme Court that has been favorable to him. So they did render a decision that allows this to go forward. However, they did indicate that he has all of his appellate rights still intact. So it is a surprise that the two conservative justices sided with the liberal justices in terms of rendering this decision. But at the end of the day, the decision, as Trump said, is favorable to him, and he intends to appeal this decision all the way up to the Supreme Court.
Mr. Porter, is it easier for the president-elect to appeal now that he's actually being sentenced? And how does that process work?
Sure, it actually is. The process, he can only appeal once there's finality in the court case. And sentencing in a criminal case is the finality. So because the judge is going to render a sentence, that then allows Trump to proceed with filing his appeals. And he'll appeal to the highest court in the New York State court system. And then if he doesn't receive any relief there, he'll then seek to have the sentence and the conviction overturned by going up to the appellate court and then to the United States Supreme Court. So appellate process is a lengthy process and will not conclude anytime this year or maybe even next year.
And in your professional opinion, how do you expect that to play out?
Well, the issue here is whether or not the conviction itself is grounded in the law and is grounded in adequate and substantial facts. Trump is going to say this was, as he has been saying, this was a political hit job. And so this was essentially not a valid conviction nor a valid trial. And these charges should have never been brought. The way in which the appellate courts will look at this, courts are reluctant to overturn sentencing or convictions. So it's an uphill battle. However, we've seen from this particular defendant and now soon to be a convicted president that the judicial system has a lot of twists and turns, and we've seen unprecedented rulings, and it could certainly happen in this case too, where the sentence and the conviction are overturned.
Mr. Pointer, let's twist and turn to another decision made by the appeals court. Just ruled that the Justice Department can actually release Special Counsel Jack Smith's briefing on Mr. Trump's election interference case from 2020. The president-elect has 3 days to appeal the Supreme Court. Now, what does it look like? What's the likely outcome of this showdown over Smith's report?
So, the president-elect has a lot of sway, if you will, but the Department of Justice is currently under the sway, if you will, of the current sitting president, Biden. So Trump will try to block it, and he'll use all of his power and influence, be it through the Congress, be it through the legislature, and leaning on the DOJ. So while the report is set to come out, you certainly will see some more roadblocks. And I imagine what he'll do is he'll file a lawsuit to try to keep that from happening, to halt it.
Adanté Pointer, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.